Hello everyone, and welcome to my online class. Today, we continue to focus on chapter 10, a little propositional logic. We have done a part of this chapter already, and today we continue to focus on the other parts. So what have we learned? We have done conjunctions, we have learned negations, and this is the recap of conjunctions. So remember the value of conjunction. The conjunction is true if and only if both of the simple claims are true. The symbolic form of this argument should be P, Q, P and Q. Then you can see, we have the values for P, we have the values for Q. Then P and Q, when P is true, Q is true, then P and Q is true. And in the other three cases, it's false. So we have more false than true, right? We also learned negations. Remember, negation is just the opposites. We have the opposite truth value. Then, for example, the opposite of P, that's going to be not P, right? So we have not P, we have Q, we have, not the case P and Q. We also learned, it's not the case. Remember? The negation is just has the opposite value of, the affirmative form. Then you have P, that's true, true, false, false. Then negation, not P, is going to be false, false, true, true. We also focus on, the three arguments with three variables. Remember? It's like Tina is tone, Sarah is not tone, but Missy is tone. So Tina is tone and Missy is tone. Then we have three statements. Tina is tone, that's P. Sarah is tone, that's Q. And if we just, I say attributes, I say R to Missy is tone. Then we have here P, Q, and R. Then in order to investigate, in order to consider all of the combinations of the values together, we need 8 lines, remember? Then for P, the first value, we have, for true, for false. And for the second value, Q, we have alternating pairs of true, false. Then we have true, true, that's a pair, false, false, that's a pair, then true, true, false, false. And lastly, for the last variable number 3, we have alternating true, false. Then it's true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. It's just the recap, right? So now let's go to the lesson for today. We focus on disjunctions. You can get the idea of conjunctions and then disjunctions. What does it mean? So it's like it's a compound claim asserting either or both of the simple claims contained in it. And we have the value. A disjunction is false if and only if both of the simple claims are false. Remember, it's false if and only if both of the simple claims are false. Why is it like that? Let's see, Frank is angry or Hank is tired. Then we write this way, P or Q. So we have, the regular V for or, and we pronounce as or. Now, so let's talk about the meaning of or here, of disjunction here. Why is the value like this? A disjunction is false if and only if both of the claims are false. So we talk about the meaning of or here. Is it exclusive or is it non-exclusive? We have the verb to exclude, right? Then exclusive or non-exclusive. Let's take an example and see. You go to the restaurant and you want to have something for the starter, right? But you don't know, then you just, call the waiter and ask the waiter, what can I have for the starter? And the waiter says, you can have soup or salad. What do you think? Normally, people just order soup, or people just order salad. I'm very hungry. I have money. Both, soup and salad sounds interesting to me. I want to eat both. Then I order both soup and salad. Is it okay? Okay. Right? Another example. At the academic setting. To fulfill the science requirement, you can take biology or chemistry. These are two, elective courses, and you have to take one of them, right? Now you have money, and these courses are wonderful. They are useful to you in the future, and you just want to take both of them. Is it okay? Yes. In order to graduate from, university, you must fulfill the English requirement. You have to submit the certificates, international certificates of, English language, TOEFL or IELTS, IELTS 5.5, or TOEFL IBT at least 61. You can choose you can submit, certificates of just any of them, one of them. But now you are so good, and you have certificates of IELTS and TOEFL as well. Okay? Absolutely okay. Then from this, we have the meaning of or here. That's non-exclusive. Just imagine in the case, for example, to fulfill the English, certificates. You don't have the English certificates. You don't have IELTS certificates or TOEFL IBT certificates. You cannot graduate. And it's false when both of the claims are false. Right? Now let's talk about the values here. Then you have P, true, false, Q, true, false. Now P or Q. But you can see it's false only when both of the claims are false. You can see in the last line, false. It's going to be true, false. In this junction, we have more true than false. Right? Now, let's evaluate, and we are going to see the concrete evidence why it is valid or invalid for this idea. Frank is tired, is angry, or Hank is tired. So Frank is angry. Sounds like it's valid, right? Have a look at this. It's like F for Frank, H for Hank, then F or H, and the conclusion F. We attribute one letter for the whole statement. And you can see here, we have F, H, F or H, right? And then you can have a star. For this table, you can have a star for the premise and the super C for the conclusion. To me, in order to make it easy for you to see, we have another table with just the premise or premises and conclusion, and the conclusion should be on the right hand side. Then you have F or H here and F here. And you can see, according to the theory definition, in the deductive arguments, when all the premises are true, the conclusion must be true. So you can see in this case, we have two cases when the premises are, we have three cases when the premises are true. But in the last case, the conclusion is false. This is invalid. Then you can see, so sometimes we read, the argument, it sounds okay, but if we look at concrete evidence, it's not okay. Because maybe in the first sentence, statement, Frank is angry or Hank is tired. So maybe Hank is tired. This statement is true. But Frank is angry. This is not true. Then if we get the conclusion, Frank is angry, as a conclusion, that can be false. Like in this case. Invalid. Let's go to case number 2. Now, it's not the case that Frank is angry or Hank is tired. So Frank is not angry and Hank is not tired. It's not the case. Remember, we have learned this. So it's going to be, it's not the case, F or H. And the conclusion, not F and not H. Remember, in the exam, you have to just calculate how many columns you need. We have just 2 variables here. Then you need 1 column for F, 1 column for H. Is it right? So we need the combination, F or H. And then we need another one, not the case, F or H. Right? We also need not F. We need not H. And then we have the combination, not F and not H. How many columns? You count. Right? Maybe this way. 7 columns. So F, H, not F, not H, F or H, not the case F or H, and not F and not H. Not F is a negation of F. Then true, true, false, is maybe false, false, true, true. Not H, just a negation of H. True, false, is maybe false, true, false, true. F or H, this one is false when both of the claims are false. It is only false on the last line. True, 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 false. Not the case. It's just the opposite, negation, right? Then false, 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 true. Combination, conjunctions, not F or not H. It's true when both of the claims are true. And you have true, true, true. The other cases, false. In the exam, you are going to see the star like this for the premise and super C again. I have told you for the conclusion. But to me, very often I just have, another table to make it easy to see. What do you think? Valid or invalid? When all the premises are true, the conclusion must be true. But on the last line, premise true, conclusion true. Valid. Right? We do not have to think, rack our brain. We do not need to. Because now we can have concrete evidence. Just look at the evidence and decide and report and announce whether it's valid or invalid. Get it? Let's go to case number 3. Now, Frank, Hank, Larry. We have 3 variables. And remember, Frank is angry, F, or Hank is tired, F or H. It's not the case. Hank is tired, and combination, Larry is lonely. Right? So Hank is tired. Now calculate. How many columns do you need? How many? We need a column for F, H, L, 3, right? We need, I say F or H. We need H and L, and then not the case H and L. 6. right? And now we have 3 variables, then there should be 8 lines. The first variable for true for false, true for false, true for false, alternating pairs, and then you can see pairs of true false. Now F or H, yeah, and then H and L, not the case, H and L. So we have here, in this case, you can see the conclusion H is on the left hand side. And you can see we have here L, H and L. They can be distractors, right? Yeah. That's the reason why very often I just have another table like this. Conclusion on the right hand side. Okay, now you decide. Valid or invalid? See how many cases are there when all the premises are true. All the premises are true. We have 2 premises, then both of the premises are true. Just consider the cases when both of the premises are true. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cases, right? And then there are 2 cases when the premises are true. The conclusion is false, invalid. Do you have a similar answer? It's a piece of cake, right? Easy. Then you can see we are going to just practice on the values of disjunctions. So C, A, B, C are true, X, Y, Z false. 2 minutes for you to think first before you just check. Okay, time is up. Now let's check, right? So A or X, true, right? Not A or not X. So you say A true, then not true, false, false or true, true. Not the case A or X. False. So X or not Y, N. Hey, yeah, looks like we're in the mathematics class, right? In the math class. For true. And then true. Okay, number 6, true. Number 7, true. Number 8, true again. Number 9, true again. And number 10, false. More true than false. Okay. Now you can see, yeah, let's put the following statements in symbolic form. Do it first, right? Now, 2 minutes for you to do it first. Okay, time is up. Have you finished? Now let's put the statements in the symbolic form. Number 1, the Democrat or Republican won the election. So it should be D or R, right? As I have said, when it's in the subject, we have considered the 2 statements. The Democrat or Republican won the election, but look at the comma here, and it's going to be D or R and not S. Yeah, the comma. Then the conjunction is outside. It's not the case, D or R. A whale is a mammal or a dolphin is a fish, W or D. It's easier for you to understand, right? With the W for whale and D for dolphin, not P, Q, R. And a whale is a mammal, or a dolphin is not a fish. W or not D. A whale is a mammal, or a dolphin is not a fish. Comma, but W or not D, and not blue. It is the dog. Okay? Lance passed the exam or he failed the course. P or F. It's not the case, remember? P or F. Shayla is a soprano or an alto, but she is not both. She's not both, it means she's not a soprano and an alto. right? You can see S or A, N, not S, N, not A. Complicated, right? Last one. It's not the case that Tim is a handy or Ann is a tailor. Not the case. T or A, N, but it's outside, right? Yeah, it's a B. That's Wilson. Not difficult. Then you can see we have, many other exercises in the material. Then just do it by yourself. Okay, and just follow the link, follow my guideline in order to get the keys for this. Now have a look at a few more cases here. Yeah, number 1 to number 5. Now have a look at number 1. The Democrats or the Republican won the election. The Republican did not win, so the Democrats did win. The symbolic form is going to be like this. D, the Democrats won the election. That's D or, so D or R. The Republican did not win, so not R. The Democrats did win, D. See how many columns? D, R, only 2 variables. Simple, easy, right? Then we need just 4 lines. Yeah, D, R, and not R, and D or R. Not R is the opposite of R. D or R, we have learned already, that's disjunction. Now we just have a table with just the premises on the left and the conclusion on the right. You can see there is just one single case, line number 2, when all the premises are true and the conclusion is also true, valid. What about this one? Yeah, think about the symbolic form first. Five seconds. Are you ready with the symbolic form? The Democrats, the Republican, Socialists. We have 3 variables this time, right? See whether it's the same as mine. The Democrats or Republican won the election, but not the Socialist. It's not the case that the Socialists or the Democrats won. You can see, yeah, the symbolic form looks simple, but consider how many columns you need. Count. We need DRS, right? Not S as well. We need D or R. And we have the conjunction D or R and not S. We also need the disjunction S or D, and then the negation of that. See? Yeah, so we have 8 columns. Check the values by yourself, right? And you can see here we have just 2 columns left. Premise and conclusion. How many cases are there when the premises are true? We have just one premise here, then you have case 1, 2, 3. There are 3 cases. Yeah. And in 3 cases, we have up to 2 cases when the premises are true, when the premise is true, but the conclusion is false, invalid. Number 3. 5 seconds for you to write the symbolic form. Do it. 10 seconds. Yeah. Like how too fast. Okay. So it's not the case that Lance, passed the exam, or he failed the course, pass or fail. Yeah, we don't take the name now because it's just one person, right? Lance failed the course, fail. So Lance did not pass the exam, not pass. See how many columns you need first. So remember in the exam, yeah, maybe we just remove a column. Then that choice, that truth table, is not a perfect one anymore. Are you ready? Okay, so very simple because we have just two variables, P, F. Yeah, and then a table for not P as a conclusion and the premises on the left-hand side. Yeah. In this case, you can see we don't have any situations when both of the premises are true. What does it mean? It means there can be some problem with the data. There can be some problem with logic, right? In this case, we have to check and double check the data one more time. It's impossible. It's invalid. It's very hard to tell the answer right now. Don't worry, in the exam, we are not going to give you this case. Okay? Yeah. Now, so here, yeah, number 4, it's going to be like this. We have SA, yeah, just two variables. And this time we have 3 premises, valid or invalid. Have you got the answer? Yes? Invalid. Only one single case when all the premises are true. And in that case, the conclusion is false. Now, one more. We have Tim, Anne, and Wilson. 3 variables. 10 seconds for you to write the symbolic form. Time is up. Okay, here. Not the case T or A or W. Anne is a tailor or Wilson is a neighbor. So Tim is not a handyman. T, not T. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 7 columns. Yeah, this is simple, so I just move on. And you see we have one table with just the premises and the conclusion. Valid or invalid? I hope it's a piece of cake right now. If you say valid, you're right there. It's valid. Okay, I guess that's it for disjunction. So now we are going to move on to the last scenario, to the last combination, the last issue, that's conditional statements. Yeah. Okay, but you can see here, conditional statements is like if-then statement, right? And you know that in English already. But if, for the conditional, we have 2 clauses. We often say the if clause and the then clause, right? It has 2 parts. And we say the if statement, antecedents, but the then statement, the consequence. Or you can say the main statement, the main clause. But in critical thinking, we don't say main clause, we say consequence or then statements. What about the value? A conditional is false if and only if the first claim is true and the second claim is false. First true, second false, then it's false. I'll tell you a little bit later why it's this way. Yeah. Then let's have a look at the example. If it rained, then the ground is wet. We say P, if P, then Q. If P, then Q. So we write like this, and we pronounce, we say if P, then Q. And the symbol is the arrow. And remember, is the rule we put for our school for the if statement, conditional. The arrow should be from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. Don't have the backward arrow, right? Although maybe in the statement, if can be in the middle of the sentence. That's the way we just place the two clauses. But when you write the symbolic form, remember, the arrow should be from the left to the right. Don't write the backward arrow. Now, so the values here, so we have P and Q. If P, then Q. Is false when the first claim is true and the second claim is false. It's false when the first claim is true and the second is false. So you can see only on the second line, we have true, false, false. The other case is true, 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 false, true, true, and false, false, true. We'll talk about it now. Why is this way? Have a look at, the example. If it rained, then the ground is wet. Now, let's talk about the logic here. If, it is true that it rained, and it's true that the ground is wet, it's normal, right? It rained, the ground is wet, normal, natural, true. No arguments. What about the second one? It is true that it rained, but it's false that the ground is not wet. It rained, Look up into the sky, it's raining. The ground should be wet, but now the ground is not wet. Illogical, false. What about the next one? It's false that it rained, it means it didn't rain. The ground is still wet. Maybe? Yes. Maybe it's wet, not because of the rain. Is it right? Maybe people are just making a movie and they are just creating rain in order to just do the filming. Right? Can be the case. And maybe it didn't rain. The ground is still wet. Yes. What about the last one? So it's false that it rained, it didn't rain, and the ground is not wet. It's logical that way. Right? Then according to logic, only when I say, the first claim is true and the second claim is false, then it's false. Now let's consider a few arguments. If it rained, then the ground is wet. It rained, so the ground is wet. Let's see. If R, then W. R, the conclusion is W. You can see here, true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. So the condition is false only when the first claim is true and the second claim is false. True, false, and false. The other case is true. Now we have here one table for premises and conclusion. What do you think? Valid? If you can answer very quickly, and you say false, be careful. Okay, it's valid. Right? Yeah, true, true, true. It's valid. What about this one? If it rained, then the ground is wet. The ground is not wet, and it is not rain. Negation and conditional together. Have a look at this. Valid. Did you say valid very quickly? You're good. Okay, it's valid. True, true, and true. Case number 3. Yeah. So sometimes in the exam, we just give you the symbolic form. And maybe you don't care what P stands for, what Q stands for, don't care. You just have a symbolic form and it's enough, it's sufficient. You have sufficient, I say, yeah, things. Yeah, to just do the value. Here. Valid. Now case number 4. Maybe you are feeling curious. Do you want to know what Q stands for? Yeah. Right? Again, you still need to calculate how many columns you need. And when you have the values ready with the premises and the conclusion, you can just analyze, look, and decide. We have just one single case when both of the premises are true. The conclusion is also true. Case number 5. If the Democrat wins the election, then she will raise the taxes. If the taxes are raised, then individual savings will decrease. So if the Democrat wins, individual savings will decrease. Have you figured out the symbolic form? Is it similar to this? If D, then T. D here is like, the Democrat wins the election. T, raise the taxes. If the taxes are raised, T, individual savings will decrease, savings, S. So if the Democrat wins, T, individual savings will decrease, S. We have D, T, S. If D then T, if T then S, and if D then S. True, true, true. True, true, true. We have 4 cases when all the premises are true, and the conclusion in all the cases they are also true. Valid. Not so hard, is it right? Yeah. Now let's check quickly on the values of conditionals. 1 minute only. This is easy, a piece of cake. I'll give you 1 minute to do it first. Okay, time is up. So easy. If A, then Y. A, B, C true, X, Y, Z false. Yeah. So it's like true, false. It's gonna be false, right? False, true, true. False, false, true, not true, false. Yeah, false, true, false, true, true. Not true is false. Or true, right? Number 5, true. Number 6, true. Number 7, we have to think a little bit, right? False. Number 8, true. 9, true. Lastly, number 10, true. Okay, what about the symbolic form? Do you need 1 minute or 2 minutes? 2 minutes. Okay? Now, 2 minutes. Okay, it's the time. I hope you have finished. Now, if Bert is taking a bath, then Ernie is taking a bath. I don't know why we have this statement. Yeah, if B, then E. It's not the case that if Hank is taking a bath, then Tiffany is taking a bath. It's not the case. I just missed the closing bracket, right? Now, if Bert is not thinking about, then Annie is not. Negation of conditional, right? If there is helium in the balloon, then it can float. Helium float. If the balloon can't float, then there is no helium. No floats. No helium. If Lisa passed the final exam, then she passed the course. Exam, course. Pass the course, not the final exam. If the groundhog doesn't see his shadow, then spring is not coming in 6 weeks. not the case that the groundhog doesn't see his shadow, then spring is not coming in 6 weeks. If it is the case that the sun shines, then the game is on. Sun shines, then the game is on. It is the case. It's not the case. It's the case. Yeah, it's not negation. Then if the storm doesn't hit, I'll be at the park. So complicated. We don't have this in the exam, don't worry. Maybe the last one. Okay. Yeah, we have many exercises here for you to practice at home and just do all of them, right? We don't care what P stands for. Yeah, we don't care what R stands for. Just do it. Now let's go for a few more arguments. Number 1. If Bird is thinking about, then Ernie is thinking about. Ernie is not thinking about. So Bird is not thinking about. B. If B then E, not E then not B. Yeah. Valid? One situation when all the premises are true. Valid. Number 2. Float. Not float. No helium. Float. Is it the same? Just 2 variables, easy. We need not F, not H. Then we have the conditional. If not F, then not H. Valid? 2 situations, but true, false. Invalid. Number 3. Pass final exam, pass the course. Not final exam, not pass the course. Again, 2 variables. Valid? Invalid. Number 4. 2 more to go. Yeah. If G then S, not G then not S. We need G, S, not G, not S. So we have 6 columns. So 3 situations when the premise is true. But we have 1 situation, premise true, conclusion false. Invalid. Number 5. The game is on if the sun shines. Okay. G for the game. The game is on if the sun shines. The game is on and the team is excited. The sun must be shining. What do you think? Valid? Invalid? Invalid. Yeah. But you can see, in fact, it's not so difficult, but yeah, we need to practice, we need to review very carefully and try to be a little bit careful as well. in the exam, we may remove maybe a column to make the whole as a truth table less perfect. Or maybe we have a table with all of the necessary columns. The conclusion is also accurate. I mean valid or invalid. The thing is, we are going to change just the value of one cell. Maybe from true to false, from false to true, and it doesn't affect the consideration of the conclusion. In that case, still, it's not a perfect truth table. And then again, it's not the best choice. Is it right? But be very careful. I guess that's the end of the lesson for today. Try to review the lesson at home. There are still many other exercises for you in the material for you to practice, and practice makes perfect. You can just go to my Facebook group in order to check and double check, and I mean to see how to get the answers, check the answers. If it is not the same, you can just do it one more time. If you still have any questions, concerns, just talk to me, just contact me. Okay, so thank you very much for joining the lesson. Thank you and goodbye.